Hey everybody, good morning. It is 7:58. Good to see you. It's your friend James Shaw. We are now live on Facebook and on YouTube this morning. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with us. We are almost at the halfway point of our 15-day business plan. Last week was all about goal setting and lead gen strategy and standards and stuff like that. So that was last week. This week we're on listings today and yesterday. Yesterday was about really having a listing heavy plan. We talked about how to make sure your lead gen is focused on bringing listing leads to you. We've heard some great ideas this morning. Today we're going to talk about how you become the local economist of choice and how vital that is so that you understand pricing, that you're able to talk about what's going on in the market in your presentations, that you're easier and can better connect with people about what's going on in the marketplace. And I'll give you some things to think about in the new year and something you can put in your routine that I think might help you. But before we do that, a couple of tell me something goods. Now I'm only calling on two. We're going to go Terry and Pam. So Diane and Ashley, raise your hands tomorrow because we only got time for two. Terry and Pam get our something goods this morning. Terry, good morning.
Good morning. I've been so excited to share over Thanksgiving week on our dark week. A new grandson was born, little Mateo and Julia. He's going to be speaking Portuguese because my daughter-in-law is from Portugal. So that's so exciting. And then over Thanksgiving, I reached out via text to over 550 people, and since then, I've been in contact, texting back and forth with over 100 people. Since then, back and forth conversations. And coming into this new year, James, I have 17 transactions, and 11 of them are listings, and five of them are buyers. I've never had a year like that. So, for those of you who are struggling, this is encouragement to you because last year I barely covered my costs. Different. It's
It's just
different.
about gaining momentum, doing the right things long enough, knowing what the right things are, and sticking to them. Terry, I'm proud of you. Thanks for sharing. Congratulations to you too. It's
Thank
good
you.
stuff. Pam, good morning.
Good morning. I'm just happy to share that I have some wonderful agents in my office that are new to you, James, and they are on here and listening. Tom Cutnola and I have been really encouraging our people to get on the program. And today, Diane Kremen has been following you, Ryan Murphy is on, Karen Briscoe Reed is on, and Pierce Foster has been following you. So it's kind of like our clients. They're coachable and they might not say anything, but they finally get on, and I hope they're getting as much out of it as I have since you were my bold coach all
Mm.
those years ago.
Long time ago, Pam. I want to give gratitude to you, Tom, and so many others of you who are just proud, loud and proud supporters of what we do inside of Pivot Shift Ahead. And I know sometimes you feel like you were just saying the same thing over and over again, and you just wish you could kind of shake people and go, "Do you get it?" But just keep doing what Pam and Tom and you're doing. Just keep inviting, and people will come eventually. And then what they'll find out is it'll either be for them or not for them. I don't have judgment either way. And if it's for them, they'll stick around and they'll get some strategies and they'll implement them. And if not, they'll go find something else. But I'm just, Pam, thank you for being so loud and proud for what we do inside Pivot Shift Ahead, to Tom as well and all the others of you.
Thank you.
You got it. A couple of reminders. A couple of reminders. First, Inspire members and those of you on the early access wait list. In 29 minutes at 8:30, you'll get an email with details on how you can buy tickets to Advance 2026 next year in St. Pete in October. That's our annual business planning event. If you were there last year, you've got another 28 minutes before we open it up to that group of about 2,000 people. And then tomorrow morning, we'll open it to everybody if there are tickets left. So we hope to see you there. Number two, we have our free Wednesday webinar tomorrow. We do these every Wednesday. It's really exciting. And it's just me tomorrow. Normally I interview someone, but about once a quarter, I just kind of open the camera and talk about what's on my mind. We're going to talk about resetting your rhythm in the new year. Remember, I said, I think that what if we didn't finish strong, but instead we finished rested and ready? In other words, you did the things you've got to do in your business that are really important, but you didn't obsess over trying to get some amazing result in December. You just ran the plays you know you need to run, also taking care of all the other things that go on this time of year, and you didn't stress out about it. I just want to lower the anxiety at the end of the year. Well, then I'm going to say, what if in January you don't actually feel like you have to come out of the gate going 100 miles an hour and you can just come out with rhythm? And you just know what your systems are and plays are and run those. We're going to talk about that tomorrow, Wednesday at 2 o'clock Eastern. I'm putting the link in the chat. If you're listening to the podcast version, you can just subscribe and you'll automatically get it. Otherwise, you go to jamesdshaw.com/Wednesday webinar. jamesdshaw.com/Wednesday webinar. You can register. As soon as it's over, if you miss it, you'll get emailed a link. All right, so we're back into 15-day business plan, and I want to kind of think about something maybe that's not part of our planning. I think it's something that most of you do, and I'm excited to hear how you do it. But I don't know if it's like a purposeful, actionable thing that maybe is on your calendar and is part of a business plan. And that is becoming the local economist of choice, of making sure that you really are the market expert that your sellers and your buyers and database need. And I think that right now, understanding what's going on in the market is really important. I think about a really cool number that I heard. I was in Charlotte a couple of weeks ago. We did a shift workshop with South Park Market Center, great market center. And I don't know, about 150 people that hung out with us that day. And one number they showed me in Charlotte, and I loved this piece of data, was they had days on market for homes without a price reduction and days on market with homes that did have a price reduction. Did you know that if it's priced right in Charlotte, it sells in less than a week? The days on market for homes without a price reduction was 6 days. And the days on market for homes with the price reduction was north of like 40 something days. Byron or Bree or Penny or anybody who's on from Charlotte can put it in the chat. I don't remember the exact number, Latoya, but it was like 6 days if it was priced right, 46 days if it had a price reduction. Like knowing that, that's becoming a local market authority to be able to share that with the seller. We should know certain things about the market because, well, first of all, it makes pricing a lot easier for you. It's a skill now. It's not a gut feeling, but you have data and skill set you can use. And so how do we do this? Well, I think we have to come up with our weekly, market expertise plan. What is it that we want to know weekly? And I didn't put together a list. I think that's something you can decide for you of what's right. But if I were to just off the top of my head think of some things, I think we want certain things we want to look up in the MLS each week, like new listings, pendings, price reductions, expireds. I always like to look at comparing new listings to pendings and seeing, are they about the same or is one higher than the other? And what story does that tell us? Are you tracking absorption rate or month supply? And the thing is, if you go into your MLS, it'll give you a month supply. But is that true in the zip codes that you focus on or the price points you work in? You should go look at that. Then you can use that data to go evaluate how well your listings are performing so that each week when you go back to talk to a seller, you can give them good advice. And then you can use that data to identify trends to put in your weekly newsletter. See, I think when you watch the market and pay attention to it, the way you talk about the market is different. And I think the people you talk to can feel it, that you truly do become a local market authority. Well, a local market authority is somebody that when someone in your database hears something about the real estate market, they filter it through what they've heard from you. Your voice is the one that pops up in their head, not somebody else's. And you do that by taking market knowledge and turning that into conversation, that you go research the market, but really turn it into some sort of way to talk about the market. That way you're focused on data and not opinion. You're looking at trends versus cherry-picked examples. You're looking at hyper-local stats versus statewide or national-wide stats that you're interpreting instead of just sharing information. That earns trust over time. Like that's when people look at you and go, yep, that's the local market authority. So I challenge all of you to build your 2026 kind of market stat plan so that you know what's going on. What's going to be in your weekly MLS review? What's going to go in your weekly newsletter? What trainings or workshops are you going to attend quarterly so that you know the market data that's going on? Maybe you can start tracking prices and you can get with other agents and assign each agent a price bracket. And each month you go through and look at the trends and then get together and mastermind around what's going on. Put this kind of market study on your calendar. Each week you go on and look at certain pieces in the market. That way when you lead generate, you're including these local conversations. So I want to hear from you. How are you staying on top of what's going on in the market? Are there certain data points that you're looking at? Do you have some sort of system you use to track what's going on? How are you sharing that in your conversation so you become that local market authority? I think we're going to get some good ideas from the community today. Elaine, we'll start with you. Good morning.
Good morning. We just did this on Early Birds, and Early Birds, I have to advertise to everyone on the call, and there are 996 people on the call. Early Birds is every morning on Clubhouse at 6:30 in the morning, but once a month we do Market of the Minute, and we do it all over the nation so we can get a gauge on what's happening in what state. We even had people, I think this week, from the other side, the West Coast. But what it does is it reminds us to go on NARRPR and actually pull up the market, residual market trend, which is a report that you can do in neighborhood. You can even do it to the degree of a street. I do it in counties, because I service counties for the land and farms. But what the interesting thing is if you remember, Lauren Lucas gave us a sort of interesting little tidbit on something that's out there that's free. So I typed in all of the information about our market trends for every county around Pittsburgh. And I focused on number one, how many months of inventory do we have? Are we in a buyer's market or seller's market? We are still in a seller's market. Number two, how many days we were on the market. And then I actually went to the MLS and I said, okay, we have this many active, this many expires, this many price reductions, this many active or under contracts and contingents. Type it into ChatGPT. I downloaded the reports into ChatGPT for my counties. So I put 10 counties into ChatGPT, put all that information in there. It created a one-page snapshot. Take that one-page snapshot, put it in something called napkin.ai. And it is a free tool that you can make beautiful graphics. So you just take those monthly stats. I just highlighted it and I click this it's just like a lightning bolt that's next to it. And it made a beautiful graphic. And if you go to, for instance, my Facebook, I posted it on Facebook. So I said, who are the top 3 counties in Western Pennsylvania with a strong market? It's a really nice little free tool and it's pretty graphics for your Facebook. So go do it.
I think leveraging some AI to help you interpret the data, to upload various pieces of data and help it kind of categorize it and sort it for you is a really smart idea. And then it's our job, Elaine, right, to get that out to our people in some way so that they can see us as that local market authority. Elaine, thank you so much. Orly, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. So I like to keep things simple, consistent, and systematized. So every Monday morning, I do my market update. Every Monday, it's the actives, the under contracts, not the under contracts, the attorney review. So in New Jersey, when you go into attorney review, it's an asterisk. It doesn't show up as under contract. So I'm looking to see how many are listed. Right now in Ringwood, there are 11 with 2 in attorney review. The under contracts, we just hit 100 solds since the beginning of the year. I do this for 4 towns every Monday. Interestingly enough, I don't get a lot of engagement, but all of a sudden I'm meeting people and they say, oh yeah, I love hearing your monthly update. So there's nothing for them to engage with because I'm disseminating information. So it's not an interactive question or what's your opinion, but just be consistent when you give them that information and follow up with what happened the week before. Not only that, but when you do these numbers from the MLS every Monday, I went into a listing appointment yesterday and I can tell them because I remember there's only 11 homes on the market. Another tweak, I used to give a summation at the end of my message and then I realized people may not be waiting till the end. So now I give them a little bit of what's going on in the beginning. For instance, this time of year as a seller, you may think it's not a good time to sell because the market is seasonally slower. But think about it. Most of our first-time home buyers are not hosting Christmas. So the motivated ones are out there looking. So get a jump start on 2026. The inventory is low right now, and the buyers are motivated and out there.
It's so good. I think Orly gave you a lot in there that's really good, but the one reminder is that this is an example of when we don't hear them, it doesn't mean they don't hear us, right? Orly, they're watching that.
Absolutely.
If you're doing it every week, they might not watch it every week, but they watch it when they want. They're reading it when they want, but they hear you. You are
Um,
in their head. When they're driving around Ridgewood or whichever town it was in Bergen
Forget
County.
Ridgewood. I was in Israel last week, and people there were saying, "Oh, I watch your videos," and I'm like,
Exactly.
"Really?
Yeah, but they're driving
Why?"
around town and they see a for sale sign pop up or they hear something about the market and they're like, well, but Orly said. So I think that that's an example of you might do a lot of work, but not think it's working.
Not everything you do is a direct result. However, I learned a long time ago from Hobbs Herder, probably 35 years ago. It's called layered marketing. It's almost like putting on perfume and the lotion with the same scent. So when they see your signs and they see your postcards and they see your videos, you become the market expert because everywhere they look, you're there.
That's it. That's how you become a local market authority. Make it a goal in 2026. Scott Bryant, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. A lot of what I have to say is pretty much the same, right? I mean, on Mondays we have our meeting where we look at the data, the market data. One of my delivery systems is a little different. I call it getting trashy. So on Wednesdays and Thursdays in my neighborhood, that's when the trash cans go out, and that's when people start coming out of the houses onto the street. If you walk around my neighborhood on a Wednesday or Thursday, you'll see me talking to all the neighbors who are bringing out their trash cans, and that's when we talk about market stuff. So, that's one of my favorite things to do on a Wednesday and a Thursday.
Smart. I love the creativity in this space. So good. So good. Someone just asked, how do we go back and see the chat? Everybody, we always put the chats in the file section of the Facebook group. Every week, Marianne puts it in there every day. So if you ever want to go back and read the chat, it's always in the file section of the Facebook group. Dan, you're next. Good morning.
Good morning, James. Thanks for letting me sharing. Yeah, just to dovetail off of Orly, I do my last 7 days in Central New Jersey real estate, and that essentially covers most of Middlesex County here in New Jersey. And I do get into ChatGPT because what I'm starting to do in the past month is compare the market what it was like 90 days ago. So it'll say either an up arrow, down arrow, this many listings 3 months ago versus what's today. And again, like Gorley said, people are just like watching you. And but actually what it comes down to, it motivates me to get listings because none of my names show up on those new listings.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, it's whatever it takes, Dan. Whatever it takes. Appreciate you. Hey, John, good morning.
Good morning. So I started a YouTube channel, Fairfield's Local Real Estate Economist of Choice is the name of it. And I asked ChatGPT to help me create a statistic using days on market and an absorption rate of new listings to closed. And it came up with this thing, velocity adjusted absorption. So I use that. I go through all those now. I've been doing it for a few weeks where I talk about the week, the last week in 3 particular cities and the last month. And I'm just going to continue to do that. And it gives me sort of a proprietary-ish. I'm sure it's nothing new, and I'm sure people will tell me that they use it all the time, but it gives me something to talk about. And I put it in my calendar. Every day I post a market statistic of what's new, what's closed, and all that kind of stuff. Just trying to create consistency across all the social media platforms of being a data guy, and hoping that it'll get me some traction.
It will. And you're doing it the right way. You figure out what's your system going to be, you put it on the calendar and you run it. And that's what I'm encouraging all of you to figure out. Now, tomorrow we'll be back to talk about your marketing plan. So the rest of the week is 3 different plans I want you to think about: marketing, finances, and time. Wednesday is marketing, Thursday is money, and Friday is time. And so I want you to have plans for those things so that you can be in communication and be out there for people to see you. We want to be prospecting focused, marketing enhanced. So what's your marketing plan? Next, are you going to make money and be profitable? That's the point of the business. We had Terry got on earlier, said 24, that was a break-even year. 2025, she made money. The point is to make money. So we're going to talk about your financial plan on Thursday, and then on Friday, I obsess over how you spend your time. And so that'll be our focus on Friday, is making sure that you have the right time model to follow. I hope it's been a good series for you. We're at the halfway point. If you've missed anything, you can go to the podcast or to YouTube and watch and listen. Inspire members, we are on today at noon Eastern. I hope you'll join us. We're doing a live mastermind on building a 75-plus touch plan so that you can stay in flow with your people, so that when they think of real estate, they think of you, and you become their local market authority. That's a live call today, noon Eastern, for our Inspire members. Link is in the portal. Everybody else will be back and better than ever tomorrow. Thanks for being here. You got your inspiration. Go put in the perspiration. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, James.
Thank you.